A reader of my book, I Am the Love That Flows Through Me, asks why I emphasize the lightness and insubstantiality of ourself, but failed to mention the heaviness of being that comes with our bodies. Let's talk a bit about that today. Apart from the body, concepts such as self, heart, or soul remain too ethereal. This is particularly true of our spiritual life, which, if it's not embodied, is escapist and dangerous. Healthy spirituality must be grounded in the body because this is the primary home of our self. The human self will never have any real coherence until we recognize that its roots are visceral. Humans are creatures of flesh in all its raw physicality, not just creatures of spirit. So it's a serious mistake to think of our essential self as immaterial. We are our bodies, but we're more than our bodies. Our challenge is to ground ourself in our body, but not reduce ourselves to matter. The equation of ourself with our body is one of the fundamental illusions that deep spirituality warns us against. Ultimately, to discover my truest and deepest self, I must move beyond my body, even beyond what I experience as my individual self. I must discover a new sense of I, a knowing of me that comes from finding myself in a larger whole and seeing myself and everything that exists through a larger perspective. Or we could say, a new level of consciousness. This is the route to our true self. On this path, we come to recognize that we are connected to everything and everyone beyond ourselves. We recognize that we are part of a much larger whole. We are, as Teilhard de Chardin puts it, fragments of the universe. The dust from which we were formed is stardust, and that's the dust to which we return, stardust. We and everything that exists are the result of the Spirit of God overflowing from the divine self and manifesting as matter. Matter matters. It is good. It's a manifestation of the divine Spirit, as are we. But even beyond our bodies, there are other sources of heaviness of being. Think of the heaviness of love, or what we could describe as the burden of love, or think of the heaviness of suffering. Life is full of heaviness, and that is far from being unsubstantial. Yet we can still have the lightness of being that comes from knowing the truth of ourself as a manifestation of the one who self-identified to Moses as the I Am. We too are a sacred I Am. We too can know lightness of being that is not compromised by attachments, but which is fully grounded in our embodied self. Like Jesus, we too can know the heaviness that comes from the burden of love and suffering, but which does not compromise our essential lightness of being. Once again, I invite you to send me an email to let me know any questions or comments that come from your reading of I Am the Love That Flows Through Me, or as you do the inner work I describe in the book. Please be sure to keep your questions closely related to that book, as that's all I'm able to offer at this point. You can reach me at info@cascadialivingwisdom.com. Bye for now.